Welcome to the Association post-game. Shout out to all the viewers who are just watching that WNBA game on NBA TV, where the Chicago Sky just beat the Portland Fire. We are now transitioning over to the NBA playoffs. We're in the second round now. OKC beat the Lakers 131-108, and now they take a commanding 3-0 series lead. Zach, we were watching this in the green room. What did you see so far from the Oklahoma City Thunder? Man, they have been dominating this series.
It's funny, we've talked all week, together on these shows about, the Lakers actually playing a pretty good game, and then this stretch of basketball happens from the Thunder, and it just puts it out of reach, and that's what happened. I mean, they had a great third quarter to take the double-digit lead, and then the fourth quarter they dropped 41 points. A.J. Mitchell had 18 of his points in the second half. They just hit offense in another gear. There was nothing really the Lakers could do to stop it. They were just so aggressive, so athletic, so much faster to the ball and faster to the basket, and ultimately, it was the turnovers that killed the Lakers. 17 turnovers, I think, in this game for 30 points. Mo and I were marveling at the fact that they already had 28 points off of turnovers after three quarters. It was just a dominant second half by the Thunder.
Mo, like Zach said, we have been talking a lot about how great the Lakers have been playing until the third quarter, and it seems like this dam just opens and then OKC just piles on and they end up winning by a ton of points. What happens? What specifically happens? Because we've seen this in 3 games now.
Well, I think mainly they go to halftime and then, Mark Daigneault just looks at the guys going like, okay, the game begins now. Let's go to work here. And I think that's when they really start to kind of play. Of course, they make their adjustments. They make the views of, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that, tweak some things. But really, at the end of the day, in this series and the way it's gone, it's only just been a matter of time. The Lakers have not been able to sustain the good offense periods as long as they need to, or good defensive periods as long as they need to. And the Thunder just go on a big run. I mean, case in point, we're all watching this game. I step out for a few minutes, come back, and it's a blowout. And I look around just going like, oh, wow, what just happened? I go, they just went on a run. And that's the way this goes sometimes. And it's so difficult. And this is what makes the Thunder so good. We've seen them do this all season. None of this is really new. This is how they've treated teams all season long. And I think that's just the treatment the Lakers are getting right now in the second round.
Mo, I know we're going to talk about OKC a lot during the show, so let's shine some light on some of the Lakers players that showed up tonight. Rui Hachimura, I know he was one of your points of emphasis during our earlier stream in the day. He had 21 points and 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Let's talk about him for a moment.
I mean, it really feels like he can't miss a shot at this point. The way he's playing, he shot 5 of 8 from 3. He's getting clean look after clean look, and he's drilling it, and he's making the defenses pay for, hey, if you guys are going to leave me open, I'm going to hit these shots. And he's hoping that it'll stretch things out. The Thunder are saying, like, we're going to keep keeping the pressure in the paint, try to make life difficult for Reeves, for LeBron, and see if we can kind of survive Hachimura. But he's been unbelievable and having really a great stretch. Just unfortunately, it's coming up against a very dominant Thunders team.
And speaking of LeBron James, 19.6 rebounds, 8 assists, and he played 37 minutes. Now knowing that the Lakers go into Game 4 down 3-0, do you expect him to continue playing the same amount of minutes, Zach?
I think so, just because this could be the last game of the season once we hit Game 4. Not a lot of teams even get past that sweep. If they do, not a lot of teams force that Game 6. So, historically, this series is over, but we know LeBron's not going to just lay down. We know he's not going to want to set that example for the Lakers, regardless of how this could end. And I think LeBron's going to play as much as he can in Game 4. He seems pretty healthy. I know, he's icing things, and he's pretty sore after the game because he's in his 40s, and that's just what happens when you do any activity in your 40s. But I think with LeBron, I would expect him to really go all out Game 4 and try to see if they can extend the series and just put a little bit of pressure, not go through the embarrassment of getting swept, even though, as we know, based on how well the Thunder have been the last couple of years, there's no embarrassment in getting swept by them.
Well, a guy that is in charge of LeBron's minutes, his name is JJ Redick, so let's hear from the Lakers head coach now.
JJ, you've talked about OKC in the kind of the second halves as in the last couple of games, or where do you see that trend in how they're able to eventually pull away?
Yeah, again, it's a strength of their team.
JJ, when you guys go from the lead and they went on that 21-5 run to start the third, what was not happening other than not making shots?
Well, again, the turnovers, we lower number, but they still scored 30 points off those turnovers. I think we had 5 of them in the third. I think all of them actually led to them getting fast break transition baskets. I don't know what the ended up being, but I know at one point they were 11 of 17 from 3 in the second half. You're not getting stops; it's harder to score. But again, the MVP is 18, 22, 7 of 20 tonight, and they've kicked our ass 3 straight games. They're an incredible basketball team.
JJ, beyond what you saw in Game 2 that led you to share your post-game thoughts, sometimes coaches will try to plant seeds to change the tide of a series. Did you feel like the officiating, there was any impact in it compared to last game after your remarks?
No, I said after the game we didn't lose that game 2 because of the officiating. Just pointing out some discrepancies. That's all.
JJ, what was your message to your team down 3-0, knowing that you guys have done some stuff very right, and to your words,
third straight game, we're right there after 2.5 quarters, and we tried different lineups, tried different coverages, still lost those minutes again. We've got to be better, but I'm not giving up on the series, and we're going to go try to win on Monday. We're going to try to extend the series, and we're going to try to take this thing back to OKC.
Did you sense any of that energy from your group already?
No.
Not yet. No, I'm sorry. Like that they still have fight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
JJ, how many different things have you had to try in this series, like compared to a typical series? Or I know there's a 7-game series, there can be a lot of adjustments, but just even in these first 3 games, like Maxi's out there today, Adu was out there early.
Again, I think it's typically if you can poke holes at a team in a playoff series, there's a good chance they might have like a temporary solution or can sort of adjust maybe a little bit. This team in game, because of their personnel, can just adjust like that. They need shooting on the floor, great. They need multiple wing defenders on the floor, great. They need 2 bigs on the floor, great. They're a terrific basketball team. I said that before the series. Been very impressed with them. Still think we can beat them, but we got to be better.
Does that make you how does that make you feel as a coach? Like you can try all these things, but sometimes it doesn't matter in a way.
It doesn't matter how I feel.
JJ, you guys have obviously shown resiliency all season, down 0-3. What is the message for Game 4, and how much different is it than anything else that you've said in the past?
It's the exact same message I just told to Dan. I think I was verbatim what I told the team. So.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
JJ talked about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he had 23 points. We've all discussed Shai, and he hasn't really gone off this series, Zach. So what have you seen from the Lakers defense on the MVP?
I mean, it starts with Marcus Smart. He's done a phenomenal job just being physical, denying the ball up the court, so Shai doesn't really get to bring it up. I think that's been a big reason why A.J. Mitchell has been so good, is he's bringing the ball up the court. He's initiating the offense. When they do get it to Shai, they're throwing traps at him. They're throwing different double teams from different areas on the floor, trying to vary the coverage as much as possible, and then see if you can confuse him, you can force him into turnovers. They've done a really good job of that. The problem is when you do that and you throw so much attention at him, at a certain point, if he gets that pass off cleanly, now it's 4-on-3 as your defense tries to scramble and get back into position, back into rotation. And the Thunder are just too good, too much of a well-oiled machine to not take advantage of that time and time again.
And Mo, what were your thoughts on JJ Redick's comments about their run in the third quarter?
Yeah, he had mentioned the turnovers, and I think, Zach had mentioned it in the beginning. I didn't even realize myself. 6 turnovers, 14 points conceded. So the Thunder, of their 30 points, 14 of them just in the third quarter. That's a brutal stat if you're the Lakers. When you're trying to deal with a team as good and deep and strong as this Thunder team, you have to value the ball every possession. And on just those 6 turnovers, it cost them the game. I mean, I think that really opened everything up for them. They finished the scoring just in that quarter, 33-20. I mean, you're not getting enough shots up in that opportunity with those turnover numbers.
We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we will hear from OKC head coach Mark Daigneault. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.